Have you heard of a little thing called Discord? Well, if you haven't, let me inform you. Discord is an amazing app where you can interact with gaming communities and content creators such as myself more directly. It's an app that is just great for community building. I'm one of the owners of a Kingdom Hearts Discord server called The Union. We've been growing rapidly lately and are a little over halfway to 1,000 members. Thank you guys for that. If you don't have an account, it takes like less than a minute to make one. So create an account and join the Union Discord server today to get a chance to talk to some of the members of the community and its creators as well. I really look forward to seeing you guys there. Now let's get on with the video. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? My name is Prodigy and welcome to another video on the channel. Today guys, we're going to be talking about the DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3. Kingdom Hearts 3 ReMIND is what it's going to be called, as of right now anyways. And Nomura, a couple of weeks ago when he announced this, listed off a couple of things that were going to be in the DLC, but one thing we're going to be focusing on today is the limit cut episode and bosses. Now this has people in the community talking quite a bit, and for very good reason too. So the discussion behind the limit cut episode comes from Kingdom Hearts 2 FM, and apparently limit cut or something close to that was used to describe the Cavern of Remembrance DLC that was the big package that they offered in Final Mix for Kingdom Hearts 2. And as you guys know, Cavern of Remembrance was crazy. Like, it was really good. It was something that Square Enix added to Kingdom Hearts 2 to make up for some of the complaints about the game in regards to its lack of level design and how they had these really cool organization battles, but they were tied behind story restrictions and you couldn't really fight them unless you made a save point before fighting them and or had to replay the entire game to get to that point again, which sometimes can get really tedious, annoying, and sometimes you really want to fight these org members maybe with your favorite Keyblade or with the certain setup that you wouldn't have until after you defeated them. And Kingdom Hearts 2 didn't have a New Game Plus or anything, and I don't think it ever got one, so that really did suck at the time. And to make matters even worse, America didn't even get Final Mix until later when Kingdom Hearts 2.5 came out for the first time. And we know how Kingdom Hearts 2.5 went. It was a pretty good collection in terms of the fact that it brought us Final Mix for Kingdom Hearts 2 and Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep, but had a lot of problems to come with it. Like, for example, drive form load times were abysmal. Load times in general were just awful. Then you had things like the limit form crash. Xemnas was completely broken as a final boss fight. Like, that boss actually just did not work. And a bunch of other problems which we're way past now because the PS4 versions of 1.5 and 2.5 are way better and are the definitive versions of each Kingdom Hearts game. But point I'm trying to make is, since limit cut is something that's going to be in Kingdom Hearts 3, that's the term they're using for it right now, or that's the term that was translated for it, on top of the fact that it has multiple bosses to come with it, I'm extremely excited for this, and it's highly possible that this could be the data org version of whatever we got in Kingdom Hearts 2, the data fights that we so want in Kingdom Hearts 3, because I know that me, along with a lot of other people, probably have a lot of saves, and all 9 of their save slots in Kingdom Hearts 3, which is a whole nother problem I'm going to rant about in another video, are pretty much filled up by each save point in Keyblade Graveyard, because those are the most revisitable parts of the game, the most fun parts of Kingdom Hearts 3, and I would really love to re-experience those fights without having to have 9 save slots like save for them, or without having story restrictions behind it. And it was something that wasn't added until later in Kingdom Hearts 2, but I really wish they did have that at launch in Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm not going to hold it against the game for it. What I will hold against the game for, though, is 9 save slots. Like, what? 9 save slots? Are you freaking kidding me? Like, that is not enough. Not even close. I'm constantly, every single time I'm replaying Kingdom Hearts 3, debating with myself about whether or not I want to save over this part of the game or that part of the game. Anyways, I'm still rambling about that. Back to data org. Now, the thing about data org in Kingdom Hearts 3 and how it might be handled a lot differently this time around is because of the way the fights are in Kingdom Hearts 3. The way the Kingdom Hearts 3 Keyblade Graveyard fights are, they do have a lot of difficulty to them in critical mode and level 1 playthroughs. Those fights are completely designed around party members, and I feel like even if we had super boss versions of each of those fights, that it could potentially bring out a lot more of the flaws in those fights rather than the good parts, because they're not straight up 1v1 fights like they are in Kingdom Hearts 2. All of the fights alone, like if I fight Terranort by himself or fight Xigbar by himself, the fight is significantly easier than it is like if I'm just fighting Xigbar and Dark Riku together. I think what they could do also is they should remove your party members from that fight. I know some people might have an issue with that, or maybe they could give you the option to have a party member or not have a party member during those fights. I don't know how that would work, but I feel like if they're going to make super boss versions of those fights, they can't make them so that your party members are completely demolishing them like they are sometimes even in critical mode or even in level 1. I think they need to do some editing to these fights if they want to make them fit the data org mold, because I can easily see a lot of people being satisfied that we do finally have these bosses in a data org format where we can fight them post-game, refight them whenever we want for our leisure, but then we get to the point where we're fighting them and the fights, even though they have way more health bars, are still not as hard as we want them to be. Now, some people just love Kingdom Hearts 2's combat way more than Kingdom Hearts 3. No matter what you throw their way, people just aren't going to like the data org in Kingdom Hearts 3 or limit cut episode in Kingdom Hearts 3 more than Kingdom Hearts 2. But for those of us who have hope in the combat or do already love the combat, we can agree that there's a little bit more some editing that they are going to have to do to these fights to make them a lot harder and to make them the challenge that we want. I think the only fight that I wouldn't want like to be one-on-one, I guess, that I think works perfectly as a team fight is probably the triple Xehanort fight, because that fight honestly is one of the best like bosses in Kingdom Hearts to me, not just from a story point of view, but that fight is just really fun. Like compared to all of the other Keyblade Graveyard fights, where of course they have chemistry, a lot of them do their DMs at the same exact time, but outside of their DMs, and I know I'm using combat terms, for those of you that don't know what DM is basically desperate maneuver. It's something that a boss does most of the time to be invulnerable, which gives him a lot of iframes, invincibility frames. It's basically the big flashy attack every boss does at some point in their fight. But the bosses in Keyblade Graveyard doing their DMs is really the most chemistry some of those matchups have with each other. They're very interesting matchups, but definitely none like the triple Xehanort fight, where it feels like every single thing they do to you, Riku, and Mickey is just calculated, and I just really enjoyed that fight. But that's really all I think about the limit cut episode stuff. I think it's a high possibility that the limit cut episode could be the data org fights that we all are really anticipating, that we all really want. Me personally, if it came down to the wire, I would not be mad if we didn't get data org, but instead got newer bosses, more unique ones. Some people are speculating that the limit cut episode could have a lot of like relations to Final Fantasy, because apparently that's the term they use for Final Fantasy characters in Kingdom Hearts as well. So if this limit cut episode was either data org or some big Final Fantasy DLC, then I would be perfectly fine with that. I'm just really hoping that we get a Sephiroth boss at some point in Kingdom Hearts 3's life cycle. I know Nomura in his head this is the only DLC, but please man, like at least in this DLC, add the Sephiroth boss. Like, you know, a lot of us want that, and I just think we need it. We honestly need it. I'm not one of those people in the KH community who's super mad that Final Fantasy characters aren't in the game. I do agree that Final Fantasy shouldn't have went away from the Kingdom Hearts series at all like it did in Kingdom Hearts 3, but I'm not super mad at the game for not having any Final Fantasy characters. But what I do want, though, I am mad that it didn't have Sephiroth, because I think Sephiroth just would have been a super crazy crazy boss fight in Kingdom Hearts 3. But if it's neither of those things, I'm not going to be super upset. If it's something completely different and unique, then I'm perfectly fine with that as well. Of course, the basic things we're going to be getting in this DLC for Kingdom Hearts 3 and Kingdom Hearts ReMIND, we're going to be getting our extra final mix cutscenes during the games. Like one, for example, they already confirmed was that we're going to be getting more explanation on how exactly Xion came back in the DLC, and they did confirm that we're going to be getting another secret episode and boss as well. So it looks like at the minimum for the Kingdom Hearts 3 DLC right now, we're going to be getting what we're used to, which is more bosses and more cutscenes. But there's so much mystery surrounding this DLC that we still don't know yet. Like in the name itself, for example, like what exactly is Kingdom Hearts ReMIND going to be about? It sounds like something to me that's going to be heavily related to Kingdom Hearts Union Cross and all the story going on there. But it could be something completely different, and that's the fun in talking about stuff like this. But if you guys enjoyed today's video, you already know what to do. Leave a like, share the video with a friend or family member, and last but not least, if you have not already and want to become a part of the Union, all you have to do is hit that red little subscribe button down below. My name is Prodigy, and I will talk to you guys soon. Peace out.